MBT, games, which is scenario 3, on turn 9, using all basic and advanced rules with optional rules listed below. This is a replay based on the VASSAL log, the actual gameplay itself, which is much longer in time. When I do the gameplay videos themselves, they're live. That's basically what was happening on my screen with all the chart lookups, and they take a while and they sometimes get boring. But if you're interested in that right there is on my Patreon. It's absolutely free to look at. Just click on the link below to go on my Patreon, and I have this entire game that I played in real time, all the videos. Short version game. Well, everything still happens, but it's just a lot more entertaining, I think, than watching a video with all the charts. But if you want all the capital, let's turn 9. Okay. So NATO has one command. I just wanted to make sure they had the right facing on that Bradley, on that M106, right turret and on that. NATO has one command. I'm counting units. Soviets have 13 commands, but because they have units that are outside of 6 hexes of this headquarters, of the company headquarters vehicle right there, which should be these that are almost off the board, they can only half of those commands rounded down, only. So that significantly affects this turn. So what we're doing right now is placing commands. So that's the recon unit that's been spotting for my indirect fire, and they're finally getting out of there. That Bradley is in perfect position to fire against the rear aspect of vehicles that are looking to leave the board. Section is a TBV. It's kind of outgunned, and it'd be very hard for that to get hit. But so I'm giving both my headquarters section and my 106 a move command. I'm going to move them to the other side of this hill where they can hit the Soviet vehicles as they go by the hill. That was my command. Those were my commands for the NATO. Now here's the move commands over here. Heading in that direction. These infantry units are going to go into, I'm moving forward now. Some interesting things are going to happen with those infantry units and that Bradley, but we'll see. You shall see if you keep looking. All right. They get a move command. For some reason I keep on going back to them. Some more move commands. I'm adjusting turrets. So these two tanks right here were firing on that infantry right there. So they should have had their turrets facing them, or leg unit. I'm adjusting turrets. I'm checking line of sight. Okay, that's kind of pointless. Okay, so I'm going to put that unit in Overwatch. Again, I have a limited number of Soviets have a limited number of move commands here. They have 13 total commands, only 6 of them can be moved. So if I did the other units, I could put in Overwatch. All right, so that's it for the command phase. Now the initiative phase. NATO rolls 91. Soviets roll 51. NATO wins. No indirect fire. NATO has first direct fire because they won the initial initiative roll. So here's the Bradley. It's going to try to fire against one of these. Oops. One of those T-80 BVs. It's going to get a really good shot because the shot's going to be at its rear side facing. The Bradley has tow missiles. The range is 6, point blank range. Rear side aspect. Moving target -1 roll modifier. 2 hits going to be 81. I rolled a 52, so it's a hit. Penetration for the tow missile is 180. Location damage. Hit was on the hull rear. The penetration is 180. The armor was 23. But my effect roll was, go back. Well, we're here. Okay. So let's look at, I'm looking for the location damage. There's the location damage roll. So 8 gave you hull rear hit. 1 means no damage. But we're using, so normally that would be it. You just check for bail and that's it. However, we're using a special damage rule where if you get no damage result, it could cause things like radios go down or the turrets jammed in place or something like that. So we're going to check. So we have to check to make sure that there's no special damage. Well, first we're going to check for bail, because if they bail, you know, any special damage would be pointless anyways. And 23 is a bailout. They did bail out. Did I place the bailout marker? Why am I moving things around? Oh. Okay, there's the bailout marker. All right. Excellent. Okay, that was good shooting by the Bradley. So now I take the fire marker off the Bradley. Okay. Well, I didn't take the fire marker off the Bradley, but that's okay. They're not going to fire again, I promise. So here's another initiative roll. NATO, Soviets. Soviets win and fire. Soviets are going to be firing at this unit right here, this recon section. Okay, so it's going to be GP fire at point blank range. There's no 2-hit modifier. There's just an effect modifier, point blank range. The GP offense value is 8. That unit right there is in the open. It's going to be, its defense is +2. It's not in full cover. It's 59, so you're going to have a result roll. 59 or greater is suppressed. No, 27 or greater suppressed. 59 or greater is effective, which in this case is reduction or elimination. First, have to check if they have that ability, that ammo. 10, they do not, failed, okay? So they don't have, they're kind of showing that ammo, so there's a -3. It would be -3 of the 2-hit modifier, but instead there's a modifier on the GP. All right, so I was wrong. It is going to be a -10 die roll modifier on the GP chart. And it's a 51, which results in suppression. 51 became 41. Now 66, well, 51. Let's go back and take a look at that. 51 minus 10 is 41. I need a 21 for suppression. That is the suppression. So what happens is the suppression marker just gets flipped over from off to on. And the next result is just suppression. So those 2 vehicles fired. And again, I flipped over off suppress to on suppression. And there you go. Next initiative. Oops. 71 and 86. But that 71 is +20 because NATO has veteran units, so NATO wins the initiative. And right here is that section I was just fired at. It's going to fire back. Medium range, availability is 8, penetration is 61. It's firing at a front side aspect. No, it's actually firing at a rear side aspect with the front aspect of the turret, because the turret is pointed toward them. That's the availability roll, and they pass. The ammo is available. Okay, so you have suppressed shooter, -5 row, -5 row column shift. That's medium range with unit quality of veteran, so it's +2. So your net column shift to the 2-hit roll is -3, which means a 2-hit 35. I get a 95, and it's a total miss. And there are no more fires left for anybody. I just forgot to remove that fire marker from the Bradley down there. We'll go into the movement phase. Just forgot to remove that. NATO moves first. All right. This unit right here quick marched. So we have to roll to see if it's suppressed. 1 through 40, it's suppressed. 47, it's not suppressed. I change its facing over here. And I'm checking to see if a unit has line of sight to it. And they do have line of sight to it. And since so many units are looking at it, that's spotted. So this is going to be Overwatch, actually. All right, so this is Overwatch fire against the moving target up there. It's going to be short range, rapid rate of fire. The GP offense is 4, the GP defense is 0. 0 will become 1. Now, rate of fire only works if there are multiple targets. The way rate of fire works, if you roll a certain number and there are multiple targets, you have a chance of getting hits on other units in that. There's a table for that. But rate of fire wouldn't affect this because there's only one target. Overwatch adjust is -10 to the die roll. So I need a 38 for suppression, 66 for elimination, and there'll be a -10 to the die roll modifier, and that's a negative number. No effect. I think there are 3 vehicles here. Next vehicle gets elimination, gets effective, and it's gone. And those units did their Overwatch. Now they also should have had their, I should have adjusted the turret actually. Well, I don't think they actually could have fired on them. Let's see what that is now. Because the turret facing was this. There may have been a mistake there. It's this right here. All the way out like that. The unit was over here. So the unit was outside the turret range of those vehicles. So if those vehicles were the vehicles that were firing in Overwatch fire, that was a miss. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to do Overwatch fire. Well, wait. Yes, you can do it. You can do a turret adjust with Overwatch fire. It's just a greater penalty. So hopefully I'm moving those turrets to face in the direction of they just fired, and I didn't. So all these turrets right here, they should be facing up north. All right, next initiative, NATO 78 to 64. NATO wins, and we're in the move phase, so Soviets move. And you have units over here on the far left. That 2 tanks just left the board. Initiative 21 to 52, so it's going to be 41. Soviets win, NATO moves. And here I go. I'm now moving my units from one side of the hill to the other side of the hill. And I'm placing that turret so it first faces straight down. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to catch the Soviet units as they leave the board. Soviet wins. Move Soviet is the only one that has moves left, so it's going to be all Soviet moves. Another group just drove off the board right here. This group is going to drive off the board. And let's see, I don't know if I have any other units that can move. That unit moved forward, I believe. The infantry are moving. So this unit, quick march, I got to check for suppression. 1 through 50. And suppress 46, that unit is suppressed. That's big. Next move be that unit. It also quick marched, facing the right direction. Checking for suppression, not suppressed. Next move, same thing. Quick march. Checking for suppression and not suppressed. All right. And I move all the command markers because we're near the end of the turn. So right now I'm just checking turret, I'm checking unit facings. This is the end of turn 8. Over here, no one's spotting this Bradley. Well, let's take a look. Nope, no one is there. Spot that Bradley. It's hidden. But the Soviets do know it's there. They know something's down there, so you're going to see how that works out. I'm actually going to send the infantry into the woods. The Soviets know that there's some type of activity down here south of the main road. What they're doing, they're sending those homeless mechanized rifle units to go through the woods to clear it out. Meanwhile, I'm going to have some armored vehicles, I believe, go in that direction. And I'm going to have to go 2 tanks in this direction. So I just want to clear out this woods area and whatever resistance is over there before I send all my soft skin vehicles through. Okay, I believe that's it. Let's forward. All right, so what am I doing over here? So I'm checking to make sure it's spotted mainly. Okay, so I'm adjusting turrets now. And that's it. So there was actually, and that unit actually, I believe, might have been in, yeah, it was there. That was the one that was hit by the Bradley, and they had the bailout. So right here at on suppression, that needed to be flipped to off suppression, that needed to be flipped to off suppression. And I didn't do that. So I needed to do this right here. Flip it and flip it. That's off suppression. All right. Turn 9. I don't think there's a 9B. All right. Thank you very much.